This BG I got really frustrated on, and it was because I kind of gave up, so I stopped recording it a little bit mid-match. But as you're going to find out, this was actually a really close game. You can see here in the beginning of the map, what happened was our team, like half of them went to the northern mine. And I was like, what the hell's going on? I mean, that's typically not the real good strategy. I really want to try to just contest mid and do it. So as usual, I'm playing Alliance, so I'm just like stupid players. This game also is going to showcase this new spec I'm playing in 7.3.2 or just 7.3, and I'm going to talk about it in more depth in another video. But as you can see, I'm actually playing with Nightfall, and you can see these guys are actually getting on my Infernal Core, really effective. And the Infernal Core in these flag games can be extremely good. You can see a health funneling in here, trying just to keep them up. And we're just getting out Zerd because half our team went to the north, right? So you're not going to be able to get this one. So I'm holding them off pretty well. I'm getting healed a little bit, and I think some people are using the health stones. A couple other things too I'm going to talk about in this video is that so I'm using this new spec, and this new spec involves using Nightfall. And basically the skinny on this spec is that, okay, I'm trying to just get this guy off me at Death Coil, at Shaman, and you can see I'm using Nightfall. I got a cooldown timer, and it's very effective for Zerg busting. I end up giving up Endless Affliction, and I'm going to tell you why I give that up. I'm looking here, you see my team actually, they didn't go to the northern mine, they went and actually captured the flag. So in this game mode, this particular map, the mine map, if you actually just get the cart, you can win the game, because you steal so many resources from the cart, and typically the cart paths back over a mine, like they're going to go over the northern mine here, and you end up stealing a lot. So these guys might be pretty stupid, in my opinion, but, you know, what do you expect from a bunch of humans? But, you know, they actually might have something going on here, because as they're stealing the cart, they're actually making the game. So you can see the score here is actually almost dead even at this point in time. Granted, it's a really early game. So let me talk about the spec a little bit more, as we can sort of show. This game kind of showcases the spec a little bit. I use the Infernal Core, and this is a BG spec, by the way. And what it does is the Infernal Core actually does a ton of AoE damage. It also has a purge ability, and you might want to use the Infernal Core maybe even in arenas, because it depends on your matches that you have to do, because it actually removes the buff. Like if you're fighting a druid, maybe it depends if you're doing 2s or 3s, right? But this spec has a very good versatility. It can do really good single target damage and really good long term, really good AoE damage too. We give up, the main thing we give up is Endless Affliction, which I think is a standard Warlock thing, and I think it's a big mistake to go into that. Rot and Decay has always been kind of buggy. It's just the way it's always worked, and they've nerfed it. Remember, they nerfed it like a patch or two ago. So, let's see if I can kill this guy real quick. Not me here. So, you know, you have a lot of outs. You still have a lot of healing. We give up Siphon Soul, and we choose Death's Embrace. Death's Embrace is just too powerful of an ability, especially if people get low. I'm just fighting 2 or 3 guys here. This mage is on me. I'm actually doing really well, and the healer actually dispelled that guy. So what the spec does is we give up Endless Affliction. Endless Affliction is really kind of bad. It's more of an arena spec, but in arena you actually get dispelled a lot too. So you might want to just consider giving it up. Normally Affliction lasts over 7.3 seconds, depends on your haste and how good your gear is. And so they actually have all 3 mines here. So I'm frustrated as hell in this game. I don't think we even got the cart back. So I'm actually going to go try to assault this base, because they were all in the north. So I want to actually get this down. Endless Affliction adds 6 seconds to your unstable afflictions, right? Nobody's really here. There's a couple guys here, and you're going to see some kind of 2v, sort of a little match here where I'm going to beat these 2 guys. They don't have any healing, so this game's kind of over. I'm just going to dot up both these guys real quick, and I'm dropping this hunter like so quick. And you see the power of the spec does. It does serious damage, and I can just cast the instant seed. And since we're giving up Endless Affliction in that tier, we end up picking up Nightfall. Nightfall, you can see I built a weak auras proc. If you want to learn how to do the weak auras stuff, I've just released a 3-part video series in how to use that and set up the cooldowns related to that. So like that's an active cooldown, so I can see when that cooldown pops. So I cap this node here. And when you choose Nightfall, then you go into the normal spec. You can either get Death's Embrace, or we can get Soul Conduit. Soul Conduit is really good for super Zerg busting. That way you can just keep throwing out Seeds of Corruption. And I've showcased that in the Eye of Storm video, one of my other videos on this channel a while back. And these guys saw me cap the mine, so I'm just slowing them down a little bit. You know, there's 5 guys here. You see my Infernal Core, I just stunned like 4 guys with it. That's another reason why I like using the Infernal. I get just dropped because too many guys, no healing. But we end up tapping, taking their thing again. You can see the score here. We're actually losing. We don't have a base, so it's 500 to 200. I'm frustrated in this game. So what I'm going to do is, you know, I think Death's Embrace is stronger than Soul Conduit, and you just have to keep a lot of agonies going on people, because I want to still have a balance between a good single target damage, and I do that with Death's Embrace. Really accelerates that, and you're going to boost your killing blow significantly. This is sort of like the Ice Cream Melt spec that's also been featured, I think, in 7.2, except for we don't go with Contagion. Because we don't have the ability to really keep the dots. They've kind of removed that. And so my conclusion too is Death's Embrace is just a little funky. You don't really, it doesn't really, not Death's Embrace, I'm sorry. The Rotten Decay is just a little funky. It always has been, where it doesn't really reset the cooldown significantly. And what's really nice is this, your Drain Life increases the damage on also Seed of Corruption. So since you're throwing out instant Seeds of Corruption, now you really don't have an excuse to use almost all your soul shards. You know, this guy is actually, I think, going to get away a little bit. But you see the score here, we're losing badly. This is a 700 to 200 point game. So this is a great game to showcase this. Just the mechanics behind this Battleground too. Okay, we just capped it. I think we got another 200 points for capping their thing here. And you can see this guy's having a hard time getting away. So here's the thing, you put on like 1 or 2 or 3 unstable afflictions on somebody, and you can actually don't need endless affliction to keep those buffs going. And also too, if you get dispelled, you don't want your damage to be nerfed. So you actually double the speed of your damage is what I'm trying to tell you when you don't choose endless affliction. Now that used to not always be the case, but like with a lot of classes, they quote unquote balance them and they nerfed them. And so endless affliction used to be a lot more powerful. It used to do, I think, the same amount of damage, but I used to go in you can go to Orgrimmar and go in the PvP dummy and test it out for yourself. And the whole point is that, like, you know, you can actually, let's see, that guy stunned me. Well, guess what? I'll stun you with my Infernal. You know, so we trade off stuns. And see, this guy's below 35%. You see how quickly he melts. Just boom, boom, melts him right up. And I'm trying to get this node. It's being poorly defended. And we still do not have any bases, but we're still grabbing the carts. So our team, there's like a few guys in here, they're just aggressive on getting the carts, and they have like 2 or 3 healers. So I have 4 unstables on the guy, and I just started he's getting dispelled a little bit, and you can see how much damage I'm doing to him. It's hard for the healers. Okay, so let me talk about the Nightfall aspect of the spec a little bit. The Nightfall aspect is really powerful with this spec, because if there's a bunch of guys grouped up, you cast Seed of Corruption, and also you get a ton of healing from the Corruption, so you really don't need Siphon Soul. And really, a lot of the time, Siphon Soul is not going to make or break. I just don't think it's going to break on how you die. Yes, your healing is going to be much increased, but you also use a global cooldown. Now, would you rather use a global cooldown for Siphon Life, or would you rather cast an instant Seed of Corruption? So I think the spec is just really good. You can see this guy's doing really well. And my Infernal every 10 seconds is purging any buffs that he might have. So finally, one of the Shamans. But see, I'm pulling that Shaman away from the flag. I'm trying to just get him away as much as possible. But they're healing. They have 2 healers and 1 DPS here. And I'm trying to do my best to actually slow them down. And we still don't have a base. So we're finally doing it. This team is really good. These Horde guys. Usually the Horde don't have this much healing. Finally some extra DPS comes up. We got a Shadow Priest there helping out the melting. And this guy's Shaman's so annoying, stunning me. Flag just really kind of holding the flag off there. Healer's just trying to heal him as much as possible. My Infernal is just riding him hard. They feared him. I'm just trying to fear him to control him, so we actually get the flag. He like teleported away, and someone made that monk made a big mistake. I had all the dots on him, and he incapacitated and removed all the dots. That's a big no-no, but that's okay. It's not a big deal. Okay, here we go. They know that we just capped the mid flag. It's obvious that we don't have the focus here. So you have full shards. I've dotted everybody with pretty much agony. So I'm getting a lot of shards. And see, look how quickly this mage moves. Boom! 316k damage. Dot tick there. But he was just dead. I mean, there's just no way. It's so difficult to heal through that. So that monk dispelled himself. And now I just cast an instant seed on him. And the seed can actually pop out stealth guys. So I'm just riding this monk. He's getting low. Drop below 35%. He's going to blow up. He's getting close. He's trying to heal himself as much as he can. The other healer, the paladin over there, must have healed him a little bit. It's okay. I'm going to go back to the flag. I'm just making sure this guy doesn't get off, so I'm going to fear him before he caps it. And we just cap the flag over. Let's go, Alliance. Let's win this game. We're still down. We actually have 2 bases now, and the score is 600 to 1100. So we're still down massive. I'm getting zerged a little bit here. I see my Infernal Core gets over here. This cooldown is down. I use my Health Stone. I've got two melee guys. I can't spin the flag anymore, so we just got overwhelmed. Looks like my team ditched out, or I died. So I cut away because I got frustrated. I'm like, there's no way we're going to win this game. And by the time I did it, we actually recapped that flag. We have 2 bases. They have 0 bases. Actually, they just capped that 1 base in the south. So I was just frustrated. I was in the graveyard, and I'm like, oh, you know, we might win this game. I started re-recording again because some matches I just don't want to record because, you know, they're garbage. But I love these comeback matches. If we can win, the score is now tied. Somehow they lost points again because we're constantly grabbing. Every time we grab a cart from their base, they lose a lot of points. And so we just grab their cart again. I think a druid is carrying the flag. We're holding the nodes. Their team is really good at basically healing each other, but they're not very good at and defending nodes. The horde is, but they're not really good at the objective, which is a lot of people don't go for it in this map, which is actually grabbing the cart. And grabbing the cart is really powerful if you have a few good guys doing it that can heal through it. And this is where we can kind of maybe see the showcase of the specs area. Seed of Corruption also hits all the pets. And see, and now every time corruption ticks, there's a chance. So you can see me using it here. Very effective. And you're going to see me in a lot more videos. I got an Ultrac Valley video coming out where it showcases this spec even more. It'll be probably a multi-part video because the match was 40 minutes because I was able to defend a lot. Basically be top damage in that game. And it really showcases it. But I use Soul Conduit. And I would not use Soul Conduit. I probably would just stick with Death's Embrace. Is if anybody drops below 35%, the damage is crazy. So I'm trying to, and these games where they got like 2 or 3 healers, or basically 3 healers, just sort of spam healing, that's where my damage just shoots way up, because it's like, well, the guys I'm killing are not going to die. The shaman wants to tango a little bit. That's okay. He's going to die. He's running. If he's not near his healers, he's dead. You know, he's just a dead man. He's trying to do his best on killing me. There's just, I do so much healing. You know, you can see that he's dropping the totems and dropping everything on me, and he's like, you cannot kill me. Because my every time I'm draining life, you shadow lock me, and we just won the game. Because they just capped the flag. This is unbelievable. This game is crazy. I can't believe we won it. I was top damage. I only have 4 killing blows, so we were terrible at killing. And these 2 guys, that shaman there at the end, who was healing me, or trying to get me, he had actually top damage. I think because he had his own personal little healer. You got to feel that in the flow of the game. It's a great game I wanted to showcase. Hope you enjoyed it. Like, subscribe, comment, and I'll see you in the next chapter.